You guys loved the cream cheese pound cake recipe that I posted some time back, and so I thought it would be amazing to create a chocolate variation. And I'm here to tell you, this did not disappoint, and you have to make this because it tastes incredible. Today, I'm showing you how to make this amazing chocolate cream cheese bun cake with a lush chocolate glaze. We'll first preheat our oven to 180 degrees Celsius, and here first I will sift in my dry ingredients. So I have all-purpose flour or plain flour, and I've also added baking powder and some salt. I'll sift it once now, and then I'll sift it again directly into the batter. So we'll be sifting it twice. I'll keep this aside for now. In another container, I'll add 4 full eggs, and the reason I'm doing this is because I want to give it a whisk along with some vanilla extract. So the vanilla flavor infuses with the eggs, and so when we add it to our cake batter, it just gets really well distributed and mixes well with the cake batter. And I also want to whisk the eggs so that it's easier to add it into our cake batter without it getting gloopy and difficult to mix. And in another bowl, I will bloom my cocoa powder, which essentially means adding hot liquid to your cocoa powder to help bring out the chocolate notes in the cocoa powder. Here I've taken some cocoa powder and some instant coffee powder, and into that I've added some boiling hot milk. And you want to do this before you get started with making your cake batter. You don't want to add it while it's still warm, otherwise it'll melt your batter and the butter that you've worked so hard to whip up air into. So you'll keep that aside, let it cool slightly while we start working on creaming our butter and sugar together. So here in the bowl of my stand mixer, I've taken some room temperature softened butter first. I've used salted butter, and I am using speed 8 on my stand mixer to just make it nice and smooth first, so about 30 seconds. And then I'll start sifting in my icing sugar in here. Icing sugar is also known as confectioner's sugar. Now, icing sugar tends to have several lumps in them, so I like to sift it really well, because otherwise, if the lumps don't break down while we are creaming our butter and sugar, it will affect the final texture of the cake. So I like to sift it so that it's nice and smooth and lump free. And then first what I'll do is I'll mix this on a low speed, because I don't want the icing sugar flying all over the place. So make sure you're mixing this on a low speed for about 30 seconds, or until it has clumped together with the butter. And then you'll increase the speed to speed 8 or medium high. And now you are going to whip this up for about 10 minutes. But it won't be 10 minutes at a stretch. So 5 minutes later, you are going to stop your stand mixer or your electric beaters if you're using electric beaters, and you'll scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl. You do that because you can see a few butter streaks here that have not mixed with the sugar really well. So you do want to scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl to make sure all the ingredients are well combined. And you will be doing this throughout this cake making process, because all ingredients need to be well combined. Otherwise, the cake's texture will be different and it won't be as good as it's supposed to be. So go back in with your paddle attachment on a medium high speed for another 5 minutes, and you will start to notice that this mix has gone so incredibly pale, fluffy, and has increased tremendously in volume, and that is exactly what you're looking for. Again, we'll scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl really well, and now it's time for us to add our beautiful room temperature cream cheese that is not only going to enhance the flavor of our chocolate cream cheese bundt cake, but it will also add an incredible amount of tenderness and lightness to your cake as well. You'll go back in and crank up the speed to medium high and mix it for about 2 minutes. Then you'll slow down the speed, so on speed 3 or 4 of your stand mixer, you'll start mixing this batter while also slowly adding your vanilla infused eggs into this cake batter. You will add it a little at a time, then you'll wait till it has mixed up with the rest of the batter before adding some more. You don't want to add all of it in one go, because it will overwhelm this cake batter and it won't mix really well. So you want to add a little at a time. The batter will start to curdle towards the end when you're adding the last of the eggs in there, and that is to be expected because it kind of breaks the emulsion, but there is nothing to worry about. You're going to scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl. We are going to re-emulsify it when we add our dry ingredients, so do not panic at this point. It is going to curdle and that is totally okay. Once you've added all the eggs, scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl. You will go back in with your paddle attachment and crank up the speed to medium-high and mix it for 2 more minutes. And that will give you a really nice whipped up consistency to your cake batter. Then it is time for us to add our cool down chocolate mix. So this is the cocoa powder and the instant coffee powder that we bloomed with hot milk, and we mixed it and kept it aside, and it has had plenty of time to cool down. So now we're going to add this into our cake batter, and on a low speed first for about 10 to 15 seconds I'll mix it until just combined. Then I'll crank the speed up to medium, so about speed 6, and mix it for about a minute or so. And then we are going to sift in our dry ingredients here. So once we've done that, I'll place my paddle attachment back on, and on the lowest speed setting, I'll mix this for about 10 seconds until it's just starting to combine. Then I'll stop my stand mixer or your electric beaters if you're using them, and then you'll scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl and just mix everything well. There could be streaks of the chocolate paste from the cocoa powder and instant coffee powder paste that we made that may not have mixed really well throughout the batter. So you're just going to scrape the sides and the bottom and then plop the paddle attachment back down and then mix it on the slower speed setting itself for about 20 to 25 seconds more. You absolutely do not want to overwork the cake batter at this point because that will develop the gluten, and if that happens, your cake is going to be really dense and gummy and it won't have the tenderness and it won't be moist and light and fluffy. So you're not going to over mix it, just enough till it's well combined, and you can see how beautiful this batter looks. Now all I'm going to do is take my 9-inch bundt pan, which I have greased really well with some butter. You want to grease not just the decorated part of the bundt tin but also the flute in the center, so that it's easier for us to release the cake from the bundt pan. And even if it's a non-stick pan, make sure that you're greasing it. After putting in all this work, you definitely don't want that cake to stick to the pan, so make sure you're greasing it generously. Then add your cake batter all around the bundt pan. You'll also gently tap it against the work surface to release any air pockets. And using your offset spatula, you'll just smooth the cake batter so that it's looking more or less level. You don't have to worry too much because as it bakes in the oven, it will spread evenly and it will do what it needs to do. So once you've done that, this will go in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 33 to 35 minutes. A skewer, knife or toothpick inserted in the center should come out clean. Then once it's out of the oven, let it sit in its tin for about 15 to 20 minutes. You do not want to interfere with that while it's still very hot and fresh out of the oven because it can break apart. So let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes in the tin itself, and then invert it onto your wire rack and let it cool down completely. When you grease it well, it just slides off the cake tin, so that's great. You can also use a knife, a sharp, thin knife along the edges to help release it, and it will be fine. Now we are going to make the glaze, which is very easy. I'm just going to take some semi-sweet chocolate and some cream, mix it together and pop it in the microwave at 10-second intervals till it's properly melted. You want to make sure you're heating this at 10-second intervals and not everything in one go, or it can burn the chocolate and separate the cocoa solids and the cocoa butter. Then transfer it to a jug. Place your wire rack onto a baking tray so that it can catch any excess drips from this chocolate glaze that we are adding to our bundt cake. Make sure that your cake has cooled down thoroughly before you add the glaze, or the glaze will not set the way it should. So let your cake cool down completely, and only once it has cooled down thoroughly will you make this glaze. And also once you've made the glaze, let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes till it has cooled down very slightly, and then start pouring it generously on top of your cooled chocolate cream cheese bundt cake. Adding the chocolate glaze is not necessary. You can totally skip it, it's optional, but I would recommend that you do, not just because it looks absolutely amazing, but it also just adds such a beautiful flavor to your chocolate cream cheese bundt cake. Let the chocolate glaze cool down slightly before adding a few sprinkles in there. I love adding these chocolate sprinkles. It just makes it look so amazing, and the shine is absolutely incredible. Now let the glaze set. Let it be at room temperature for about half an hour to 45 minutes. The chocolate glaze will set firm, and look at how stunning our chocolate cream cheese bundt cake looks. It is such a crowd pleaser, and especially during this festive time and this festive season, it is such an easy dessert to prepare for guests at a dinner party. It is moist, tender, and it is extremely light and fluffy. It feels like biting into a pillow, and that glaze just adds such a beautiful chocolate flavor and texture to your pound cake. This chocolate cream cheese bundt cake is an absolute winner, but if you want something citrusy in your dessert menu, then you should definitely consider checking out this lemon cream cheese pound cake recipe that I think you are going to love. So click on this video that you see on the screen and watch that recipe, and do make it because you are absolutely going to love it.